Yeah, it is Tuesday, and I just wanted to jump on really quickly and talk a little bit about the discussion on skin tones. As you know or may not know, this was the theme for International Albinism Awareness Day, and we've discussed it here before. We've talked about skin tones. We've talked about specifically within communities of color how those of us with lighter skin tones often are treated differently because we are light skinned. And in the case of the Black community where I'm from, and maybe you are watching this and you're from this same community, you understand the dynamics between light skin versus more melanated skin, and you understand the uneven balance of colorism and all of the things that constitute it. And so, growing up, I briefly discussed it on last week how that was for my sisters and myself, and how we experienced a lot of discomfort because of the fact that we have light skin, and in many cases people wanted to make us feel bad about having light skin because our light skin is due to us having albinism. As my sister so eloquently pointed out, everyone has light skin for different reasons, but in our case we have it because we are people with albinism. And so when you talk about it from that point of view, you get a lot of mixed feedback because a lot of times people, as long as you don't say anything, they're comfortable, they're fine, they can do it because it's in the dark. But when you expose it and you bring it to the light, that is where the rubber meets the road, and we have to go ahead and acknowledge what this thing really is about. And so for us, that was how it was growing up. And for so many others, it's been the same, which is why I love the fact that the UN put it on the table. They do that real well, okay? Don't think they're not going to put it on the table, because they're going to put it on the table. They're going to say, bloop, that's the thing. Do something with it, talk about it. And I love that. I love the energy because it causes us to come in and really address what happened and why that was wrong and why we need to move forward and be better. In our communities, there is a great divide between lighter skin versus more melanated skin, and there are a lot of things that are done and said that don't ever really, there's not enough exposure to it truly, because you still walk away and these same things are still occurring, specifically when you're talking about people with albinism. When you go up to people and try to make them feel bad about something that they were born with, what is that about? Why is that a problem? And for so many of these people, if you really search inside of them and you see, they either would like to have the look themselves, or they want their children to have a lighter skin look, or they want to have this type of ambiguous look, but they don't want to acknowledge that that's your look, and they don't want to acknowledge your beauty or your handsomeness because they want you to feel bad about something that they inwardly would desire. But when you begin to understand that the root of it a lot of times is just jealousy, it's insecurity, it's personal problems, it's self-hatred for that person, that individual, or those group of people, you begin to see that they really are in need of help. And like I said on last week, some people need to be in jail. And I mean that with all seriousness. I mean, I'm laughing inwardly, but at the same time, I'm not laughing, because no, you really do need to be in jail. Some of you really need to be reporting people to higher authorities, to law enforcement, who walk around and harass you about how you look and what this is and what that is. I'm not even wearing any makeup today, and this is just my face. This is how we just look. God just made us so beautiful on purpose, for a purpose. That bugs a lot of people, that bothers a lot of people, because they want you to be the most ugliest, most destitute thing in the world so that they can feel better with themselves. But no, ma'am, I'm not. No, sir, I'm not. I am who I am because God decided to make me this way. We are this way on purpose, for a purpose, because God decided to make us beautiful with blonde hair, with lighter skin. And we're not apologizing for it because you have a problem with it. Because guess what? You don't make apologies for how you are. You don't make apologies for how you look. And I don't even want you to. Because guess what? I don't even mind giving you your props. But what you're not going to do is not do the same for me. You're not going to look at me and make me feel bad about myself. You're not going to look at me and tell me that I'm a curse, that my parents angered God, and me and my sisters were born this way because of that. You're not going to tell me anything other than what God said about me. And if you're not going to say it, guess what? I don't need you to say it, because God already said it. And His word, you can't do nothing else outside of His word. You can't make me think nothing else outside of His word, because I stand on His word, not your word. I love, again, that we had this discussion, and we're continuing to have these discussions to bring these things out so that more change can happen and be done. You have little girls and little boys with albinism who don't realize how beautiful they are, with that magnificent blonde skin, that beautiful golden skin, that blonde hair, that white blonde hair. They have so many inward issues, like I did growing up, because you have people who look at them them and try to make them feel like because they don't have melanated skin, deeply melanated skin, then they aren't black enough, or they aren't colored enough, or they aren't this enough, when they are just fine. Albinism is beautiful. When I tell you God really, as they say now, did his big one when he decided to do it this way, he flipped the script, he reversed it and said, this is how I'm going to make them be. And it's not just something that's synonymous to the black or brown community. Albinism is everywhere. It's in Asia, it's in Africa, it's everywhere. Everywhere, everything you can name, every country, every group of people you can possibly think of, albinism is there. It's everywhere in creation. And so I just love the fact that I'm a part of such a beautiful group of people. And the days that I spent feeling bad about that, feeling like I wasn't enough because people would walk up to us and say things and try to belittle us so we wouldn't think, y'all can't even imagine. The stories, just all of them, haven't been told. But that's why I take this so seriously. And I love that we get to do this together. So again, we are beautiful. We are amazing. God created us this way on purpose, for a purpose. And I'm not making any apologies about it. And you should not either. Walk in your beauty, walk in the humanity that God has given to us, and own it, and do all the things that you need to do to celebrate you being a person with albinism, because that's a part of who we are, but that doesn't mean that it's all of us. We have so much more in our lives going on that coincides with us having albinism. We are people. We are people. So again, I just wanted to talk about that briefly. Jump in the comments. Let me know how you feel. Tell me how you think we can chop it up. And again, I will talk to y'all later. I will see y'all next time, okay? Bye, y'all.